It was good, everybody. What's good? What is good, everybody? What is good? My mic looks great. My mic looks great. Okay. All right, man. So in the news cycle, we have Charlie Kirk that just got shot yesterday, or he was shot yesterday. We ain't even got a guess about it. He is a Republican talking head, right wing talking head, if you will. I'm not too sure about his work, uh, but what I do know is that he's still on big business. But we're going to go ahead and just read his bio per Wikipedia, and then we're going to kind of catch up on things. How it is good right there. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, man. We're going to be talking about Charlie Kirk and how I think that his death was respectable. It really was. Okay. Charles James Kirk, born Arlington Heights, Illinois. You know a thing or two about some violence, man. Being um, born outside of Chicago. Shoot, was born and raised in the Chicago suburbs of Arlington Heights. In high school, Kirk engaged in politics, supporting Republican candidate Mark Kirkner relation and his U.S. Senate campaign. Political activist, years active 2012 to 2025. Organizations Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action. Political party Republican, movement conservatism, Trumpism. He has a spouse, Erica Frantez, or Erica Kirk, is an American businesswoman, podcaster, philanthropist. She won Miss Arizona, USA in 2012. She's a beautiful woman. You know what I mean? He know a little something. You know what I'm saying? If he could get him uh, a beauty pageant queen, he know a little something. Uh, so outside of his politics, man, it seemed like a pretty cool dude, man. I wouldn't hold anything against him, um, for what I can tell. But I'm just going to be talking about how respectable a death like Charlie Kirk is in America, right? Because I think sometimes we can miss the point in America. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight this one photo of Kirk, or this video, freeze frame it right quick so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about. So in this, so the day yesterday, Charlie Kirk had on a T-shirt that read "Freedom." Okay, it was a white T-shirt, and on that T-shirt it had the word "freedom" written in black. White T-shirt, black letters, "freedom" in bold font. Okay. And the one thing that I do know about freedom in America, or just freedom, period, it's not free. Freedom will cost you something. Freedom will always cost you something, whether it's going to cost you, and usually that price, it usually comes with bloodshed, and that's just how this country works, or the way the world works. Okay, not just this country, but the way of the world. whenever you start talking about freedom and those who had to fight for freedom. They had to fight for their freedom. I know back in the day they said that the slaves had to pay for their freedom or they had to earn their freedom, but you have to be willing to sacrifice for freedom. Freedom isn't free. You know, there's a misconception just because you live in America that you're free, right? And you take it for granted these liberties that you do have, and these liberties they will cost you something. These liberties they will cost you something. You know, bloodshed, money. You know, what are you willing to risk for freedom? What are you willing to risk for your freedom? You know, I used to be in the United States military. Shout out to all the spies out there. Shout out to all the Army personnel and the Marines out there who risk it all, man.
That's a lot of people you tell what.
For American freedom. All the soldiers who have fell along the way.
All right, we're going to get started, everybody. You know how it works. Question and answer. Also, thank you to Lane from Y35. That was great. Really appreciate it. And
for those
we're going to be here for a couple hours.
Who are willing to stand on what they believe.
Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that you
taught us. Good or bad, because I'm not here to judge your. I'm not here to judge your word. I have no heaven nor hell to put anybody. That's up to you and your maker. That's up to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to give you a home wherever you deserve to go. But whatever it is, I hope that you made peace and you can stand on it and stand in good business. And whenever you get the notion to say something, I hope that you say something that's worth listening to. I hope you say something that is with conviction. I hope you say something that's going to move something. Don't play around with it. Because if you're living in this great country that is called America, you do have the freedom of speech. You absolutely have the freedom of speech. And while exercising your freedom of speech, say something that's going to ignite something, that's going to motivate some people to do something. Say something that you can live with, something you can believe in. Charlie Kirk had the words freedom written across his chest. And he was having a conversation, which he normally does, because what I've known for Charlie Kirk to do is to travel around the country to have open discussions with the youth, college campuses. He was willing to argue his point of views with opposing people in public, outside in the open. And he did that. And I think he knew that there is a risk that comes with saying what it is that he says out in the open, out in the public. There is a high risk. At the same time, high risk, high reward. I can say this now. Hopefully, whenever I'm done talking, my opposer will see exactly where I'm coming from and possibly change their point of view, or at least drop the seed in. They start to see where they could change their point of view. Many of us, we live in fear. We hide behind keyboards, and we hide behind these cell phones, right? We have Twitter fingers, right? We hide behind these cell phones, man, and we just say any old thing behind these keyboards, and even behind these microphones too, in the comfort of our homes and apartments. And rarely, and we never, let me say that, we never go outside our comfort zone and have our views challenged. We never go outside to risk it all. We never really shake the dice. Man, let me tell you, I don't agree with everything that Charlie Kirk said. Hell, I don't know half of his message. I do know that he is very conservative. He has a wife and 2 kids. He was a working man. Come on, man. He took care of his wife. He took care of his kids. And he stood on his words. You can respect that. You can respect somebody who makes the ultimate sacrifice. You know what? I'm going to be the breadwinner for my family, and this is how I'm going to make a living for my family. I'm going to go out on my sword. I'm going to exercise my rights that my forefathers set forth in this country since the inception of this country. Words have been uttered, give me liberty or give me death. A lot of y'all can't even stand on that. A lot of y'all don't even know what that means. Give me liberty or give me death. That is some very patriotic stuff to say, man. It's been said back in the days of Thomas Jefferson.
That's a lot of people to tell the run.
Let me tell you, man. Charlie Kirk,
all right, what
his act of bravery, because that's pretty brave to go out in the public anywhere in America where he has been known to advocate for he's a gun activist, right? Hey, you can have guns as an American. You have the right to bear arms. Hey, I'm going to, this is Charlie Kirk. You got to respect that. You got to respect it. His thought and his train of thought, man, frame of mind, right? Hey, Americans should keep and have the right to bear arms and have their guns. And whenever I go out in public and say anything that is possibly offensive to somebody, I'm going to risk the consequences of those rights being used against me. That's very bold right there, man. You can stand on that. Like, good Lord. You can learn something from that. Americans, you can bear arms, you can have your pistols, you can have your guns, you can have your anything that the law says you can have. You can't have your automatic weapons, though. I think that's against the law. You can't have your yopper. You can't have any kind of modification on the gun, something with a stick, monkey nuts, whatever you can pick up at the Walmart, your local sporting goods store, right? You can have those. If you're one of those Americans and you can, maybe your father and grandfather was in the business and they're good and skills with their hands and you can build, God bless you too. You can build guns, God bless you. But with anything within reason of the law, he says, hey, you can have that because that is your American right. And I can preach for the rights to bear arms because I have freedom of speech. And it would be hypocritical for me to preach against that or to even hide from that fact, to hide from these people who I say should and could and will bear arms. It'd be hypocritical. I'm saying all of this stuff, man, but then I never show my face. I never put my words to the test. I never stand on it. That would be hypocritical. And from the way that he lived his life, it was anything but. As a matter of fact, it was absolutely respectable. Witnessing a man, white, black, blue, green, purple, amen, to say what it is that's in his heart and to stand on it, be amongst the people, whether they agree or disagree, because many of them disagree. They came to those functions just to argue with you.
That was great. Really appreciate it. And we're going to be here for a couple hours.
I don't think we respect that enough.
Get comfortable.
On a weekly basis,
bring the best lips that Utah has to offer.
And to argue his point. Hey, this is the reason why you should be conservative. This is the reason why you should bear arms. This is the reason why I stand where I stand. And this is the reason why you shouldn't be aggressive or anything other than yourself. I respect that. I respect that. That is huge. That is so huge. If you think about the big picture of Charlie. Alright, so I came up with some quick bullet points that we're going to be talking about. And then we're going to get up out of here. I said Charlie Kirk's death should be respected because freedom of speech isn't free. Number one, he died standing on principle. Man, he died doing what he loved. He died preaching the same thing that made him high. You got to respect that. Man, I'm going to go ahead and make the comparison, right? He's a white Malcolm X. He's the white Malcolm X. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but he's the white Malcolm X. Malcolm X was very radical in his approach. He would have conversations out in the public. And then what ended up happening, he went out the same way that he came in. Guns blazing. All right.
Oh my God. Go, run. Oh.
Number 2, freedom of speech has always carried the risk. And history shows that voices of dissent often face the hardest consequences. I want you to put in your mind, like I said, Malcolm X. As soon as he started preaching against the Nation of Islam, they came and got him. Let's go ahead and get you on the fire.
There's been shooting. I don't know who's been shot. We are here live at Utah Valley State University.
Martin Luther King.
I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks.
Let's go ahead and get you on up out of here. John F. Kennedy and his brother. If you got to be willing to stand on what it is that you believe in. He's a modern day Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. History books will be written, and they're going to have his name and his face. And the day before 9/11, insert Charlie Kirk. My God, you got to respect that. His death highlights the price of freedom. Freedom isn't free. That's the slogan. And it's the reality. Freedom isn't free. You have to be willing to pay for your freedom every day. You know, I have some people who I went to school with, classmates. I have some classmates, and I challenge their views, or at least I used to challenge their views whenever they say something that was just too far going for me. I would challenge it. I would say something. And then, we would have a back and forth off of their post. Right? And what I've learned is that they want an echo chamber. They had wanted to have the idea of they can say whatever they want to say and have this long string of comments that agreed and added to, her post. And then here come me with the opposition. And you know what's crazy is that while providing opposition, it came with a point that she would assume that I was automatically a Trump supporter, because if you aren't with me, then you must be over there. Not you being an individual, or you being someplace in the middle and your vote can be swayed left or right, but you must be over there. She didn't even ask. She just assumed. And then one of the last times we had a conversation, or she posted again, and I made a opposing idea. And it was something about like welfare, Section 8, right? And I said, yo, some of the people that's on Section 8, some of them, a good bit of them, if you go to these projects, man, they don't want to get off Section 8. They end up passing Section 8 down to their families or to their offsprings, and they teach their offsprings to be on Section 8. Many of these people do not want to be on Section 8. And I said, I got the historical data to back it up. And that was the last time I talked to her, because she ended up blocking me, right? You have to be willing to make a sacrifice. Sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice friends and family and people who you thought were colleagues. Some people who you thought that just because y'all studied in the same classroom and read the same textbooks, maybe y'all even broke bread together, sat at lunch tables together, ate from the same tray together, went to the store together, ate at the same, hey, you shared so much together. And you have to make the sacrifice to say whatever it is that's on your mind. You have to be willing to lose something in order to really be free. And I said that martyrdom has historic power throughout history. People who die for their beliefs inspire others. Like I said, man, what he did, it's respectable. Even in disagreement, society recognizes the ultimate sacrifice for conviction, demands respect. Whether you disagree with Malcolm X or agree with him or not, right? You have to respect that, hey, he fought the good fight. He stood on what it is that he believed in. Martin Luther King, good fight. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Come on, man. Sometimes you're going to have to call the Pharisees your Sadducee, you know. Sometimes you're going to have to talk to the Pharisees and be willing to call a spade and risk it. And be amongst the people. And number 5. He represented conviction in his actions. He went amongst the people. He spoke amongst the people. He had debate amongst the people. And that you can respect that. That should be respectable. A reminder that speech can be dangerous. And look, there's a lot of people that say, watch your mouth. That watch your mouth is a thing. You remember when your mother or your father, you had to watch your mouth, and if you talk out your mouth crazy, you got slapped in the mouth, and maybe you're out on the streets outside and you come out your mouth wrong. You're liable to get punched in the face. To be willing to go outside and to say words that could possibly get you punched in the face, or even worse. That's bravery. And to say that over and over and over and over again, to ignite people to move in one direction or the other. I'm going to make you move towards me, or I'm going to push you further away from me. That is respectable, and I don't think that we recognize and respect that enough. We just don't. We should, though. Like, we should be able to look at somebody like Charlie Kirk and just recognize that, yo, man, even though I don't respect what he said, or I agree with everything that he said, but hey, He stood on big business with himself. He made people move. A lot of you cowards won't even do that. Many of you cowards do not have the balls and the conviction to say what it is that you believe out in public, amongst the people, on a weekly basis, and risk your freedom and or life. None of you do. None of you do. Because if you did, more of you would have been doing it. There will be more of you getting from behind that computer screen and being out there in the public amongst the people. He personified the willingness to pay the price. Freedom comes with a responsibility, man. It really does. Freedom comes with a responsibility. Some shrink when they get tested. Some of y'all gets really, really small when it's time to pay up. When it's time to really stand on what it is that you're talking about. But not Kirk. Kirk, he stood on big business, man. You gotta respect that. You gotta respect that, man. That. Like, how fire, though. Like, just to even think about it. Sacrifice creates legacy. I'm telling you, once he, when this thing is all said and done, even if you're a critic, even if you are totally against everything that he says, right? History will be kind to people who are looking at his situation objectively, right? Okay, yes, he was a conservative because it's not like he broke the law.
USA! USA!
Breaking laws. When I saw he was like he paid his time, paid his 10% plus Charlie Kirk, he was a good dude. From what I saw, as far as like being a husband, and a father, Christian man, and his legacy for what he spoke about and how he went about it, and how he started and how he finished.
Let's head over to the protest side.
History books will be written on the day of September 10th, 2025, as we're getting ready for 9/11.
So this
Charlie
is the
Kirk.
Patriot side over here. We're going to head over to the protest side with the gay flags.
Was geared up to have a debate like he always do
Going to go say hi to all the allies.
in Utah. While speaking about the irony of talking about gun violence and being
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll walk around.
History is going to document. He's going to be in history books long after you leave this earth. His legacy will live on. His death forces a reflection on American values. We can't claim to cherish liberty while ignoring the cost borne by those who live and exercise. Often in this country, we want our rights, but we want to disagree with others who exercise their rights. We want to push against those who exercise their rights.
You guys okay? Okay, love you. Be safe.
Free speech too.
Okay, be safe. Bye. Apparently there's been a shooting.
He has the right
to go
to every street corner or every university. And
we are
say,
here live at Utah Valley State University. I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks.
Because this is America. And you know what you have the right to do? You have the right to go to every college in America and say, hey,
I was standing right
we
here
should get rid of every gun in America. Nobody should have any guns.
Holy Charlie Kirk got shot, man. This is unconfirmed. This is for my son who was down there right in front of Charlie Kirk. We're going to go down there and see if
should have a gun.
I don't know the accuracy of that.
You can go and say, nah, everybody shouldn't have a gun. That's your God-given right. That's your American right.
Abby, are you inside or outside?
My son just said that on the phone.
Respect transcends agreement. You don't have to agree with his politics to respect his conviction. Once again, history respect those who stand firm on principle, even if it's controversial. He was the modern day Tupac. He's Tupac.
I don't know yet. I'm getting out of here. Stay close.
He's the conservative Tupac.
Go that way. Hey!
Tupac, man. Call him Kirk. Kirk Pac. You know, just like Tupac, man, Tupac was convicted in the words that he said, and Mr. Charlie Kirk,
safety team is here. I just heard them say the active shooter, Charlie Kirk, has been shot.
Did that too.
Charlie Kirk got hit, is what the security detail just said.
Stand on what it is that he believes in, and we should absolutely
push the button in there.
Respect.
Okay. Police said it could have come from up on the roof, but they arrested a guy up down right in front of Charlie, so there might have been. It could have been. I'm not really sure. That would make more sense.
We should positively respect that, man.
Chaos and horror on a college campus. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk gunned down in front of a crowd at Utah Valley University. The state's governor calling it a political assassination.
Everyone's just like scared. Like it's traumatizing.
I watched a fountain of blood come out of the side of his neck like a water fountain. And it was surreal.
I saw that he was shot in the neck and that he was squirting blood everywhere.
Witnesses describing the horrifying shooting death in broad daylight today of conservative activist Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah, the latest act of political violence in America. Tonight, law enforcement still looking for the person responsible.
We believe this was a targeted attack.
The way that it happened,
I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination. We just need every single person in this country to think about where we are and where we want to be.
A controversial figure, Kirk said he was no stranger to death threats, speaking on the George Jenkins Here.
We get death threats all the time. You know, they come, they send stuff to our homes and all that. And yeah, that's just par for the course. I mean, if you are not getting active death threats, you're not really doing much for the country.
The founder of the conservative organization Turning Point USA, an author and media personality, he built a massive following, particularly popular with young audiences. At just 26 years old, he spoke at the 2020 RNC, endorsing Donald Trump.
Trump is the bodyguard of Western civilization.
Considered family by President Trump, his influence outsized in the MAGA movement.
Charlie Kirk was seen as the force behind young conservatives. This was a guy that actually electrified that sector of the base. And for Donald Trump, this was a critical voting bloc in every time he was on the ballot. And to think that one of their own, someone that they saw as a kid, rise up over 10 years, to think that he's now gone, it has really rocked people in Donald Trump's orbit to their core.
Trump was the first to announce Kirk's death today, posting on his Truth Social account, saying in part, "No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us." Trump remembering Kirk in a video posted later.
Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror.
The 31-year-old leaves behind a wife and 2 young children. It was just weeks into the new school year at Utah Valley University. Thousands gathered to see Kirk, as captured on his social media, on the first stop of his American comeback tour this fall.
That's a lot of people, Utah, I'll tell you what.
Hosting debates.
Utah, of all places to get popped, though. Utah Valley University, that is wild.
Between conservatives and liberals called Prove Me Wrong.
Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
Just after noon, local time, Kirk sitting on a stool, talking to the crowd. And as he was answering a question about mass shootings in America, a single shot was fired.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been?
It says, do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? I don't. And you know the wild thing, too, is that there was another school shooting that happened yesterday. You know, just because you stand on something doesn't mean that you are against it when it goes wrong. Like, that is the standing on your convictions. I can say that I am pro-capitalist, right? Or pro-capitalism. And when, the idea of capitalism is to make the most money, while you can, right? And if there's a day that comes when I don't have any money and I'm losing at the game of capitalism, I can't say, oh man, it's not working for me, right? Or my family, they don't have any money, and oh man, it's not working for them, so we're gonna have to quit capitalism. No, man, it is capitalism. I have to be for it all the way through, see it all the way through.
America over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence. Great.
And you know what's wild too is that he had bodyguards, because just looking at this one, arms folded, arms folded, arms folded. Just thinking about it though, man, sometimes you think you are prepared, and really you aren't prepared.
Witnesses hitting the ground, some chanting. Kirk's own private security detail took him from the location.
Man, you see this guy? Like, hold up. Somebody knows something.
Some chant.
He knows something. What? Hey, watch him pump. He hides his face. Then what is he cheering, man? Like, what is this dude cheering on, man?
hitting the ground, some chanting.
Like, what is he? Is he? His fist is pumping like USA. Like USA. Am I tripping?
Some chanting.
That's what it looks like. And what if that's what he's saying for real? What if he's saying USA? What if that's what he's saying? And the whole idea that he's saying USA, that's the price that you have to be willing to pay. That the same people that you are speaking to, they just might be against you. Same country, same race, same gender, same pronoun. They're on the other end of the spectrum. And they brought their tools with them. They brought their guns to the debate. There has to be something that you are willing to.
Kirk's own private security detail took him from the location, a witness capturing the moment on video.
I pulled out my phone and recorded the security putting Charlie in the vehicle. I looked at his face and it was lights out. I mean, his eyes closed. He fell back. He did not move.
Some attendees criticizing the lack of security at the event.
We registered for tickets, but they weren't even looking for tickets. Anyone could just walk in. It was at probably the worst place in campus because there's so many areas where anyone can just walk in.
This is the police.
But that's all that I have, man. I'm not going to watch the rest of this. I just wanted us to make sure we give him proper respect, not necessarily to the things that he said, right? But his death, good Lord. Going out like that can be respected. Going out doing what it is that you love to do in front of some people who may disagree with you and not break any laws and still the same sword that you came in with, you willing to die on that. That is commendable. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I'm going to go ahead and end this thing right here. And until next time, people, we are out. Peace.